is time. It is time to brew your best beer.
The 2016 SJPorr Challenge is dedicated to your friend and ours, Paul Wickstein. Brought to you by Brewcraft USA, iMake, Gladfield Malting, Yakima Valley Hops, The Grain Bill, Brewers Exchange, Cake Kingdom Homebrew Supply, Hiraki Homebrew, and a special thanks to our silver sponsor.
All right, we're back with another SJPorr Challenge review from the Southeast Hub. This is 27D-45V-66S. This is a Ginger Kolsch. Original gravity 1040, final gravity 1006, 4.4% ABV. Online it also says beer was fermented with a semi-washed Kolsch yeast that was previously used in another Ginger Kolsch, and the flavor profile carries through, and it was dry hopped with select spalt. So there's a couple things on this that I'm excited to try. One is I have not had many homebrewed Kolsches, but I really enjoy the style. I don't think I've ever made one. I've definitely never had a Ginger Kolsch. And then on top of that, I don't know if I've ever used or tasted select spalt hops. So it's a trifecta of interesting things that I'm looking forward to in this beer. So poured out really nicely. It was bottle conditioned. It looks like I kept everything out of here. A little bit of bubbles on the side of the glass due to a non-clean glass. It's got a tiny bit of maybe some chill haze, but it's really clear. It's a really nice looking beer. Kind of a deep golden, like a deep golden color. Almost an orangish hue to it, but it's still pretty light. Carbonation looks good. I'd imagine once I drink it down a little bit, I'll be able to swirl it up and carb will come out pretty well. Head died down pretty quickly, but it's keeping like a loose cap on top. Let's get a smell on it. Well, you get ginger right away, and it's pretty pronounced, but it's not overwhelming. It's pleasant. I don't eat a lot of things with ginger, but it always makes me think about sushi. I love sushi, and it goes perfect. So I'm actually really excited. I don't pick up anything pronounced in the way of hops or malts or anything. It's pretty much mostly just the ginger. But it goes over well. It's a nice smell. It's enticing. So let's give it a shot. I'm trying to keep these a little bit shorter. Woo! Most definitely ginger. Gonna go with my 3-sip rule here. This is a nice beer. Alright, so first take on it. Really nicely fermented, cleanly fermented, for which a Kolsch should be. So I'm really impressed on that front. The carbonation's really nice. It's just about perfect. You can give it a pretty gentle little swirl, and it gets a nice head back on the top of the beer. Leaves a little bit of legs on the side, which I'm pretty impressed with from the standpoint of the low ABV. The Kolsch itself is not very complex malt bill. Oh, there was something else I was going to say. I forgot. Oh, the very, very low final gravity, 1006. I was worried it was going to be extremely dry and kind of thin, but it's not. It's got a good mouthfeel to it. Yeah, not too dry. The flavor is pronounced ginger, but it's really not bad. If you really dislike ginger, I don't think this would be your beer, but for somebody who enjoys it or is just kind of towards the side of I could give or take it, this is enjoyable. It's really refreshing. It's really refreshing, just has enough malt bill to kind of hold up and not completely let the ginger dominate. Don't let the gingers dominate. I don't get much in the way of hops on it. And I thought there might be a little bit more hop presence. But it doesn't detract from it. You don't really need it, in my opinion. There may be a little bit of a dry hop profile on the back, very end of the tongue. It leaves a very pleasant aftertaste. I'm going to sit with this beer, score it, and then I'll be right back with final comment. After scoring, the beer cleared up really, really nicely. It was just a little bit of chill haze. The carb is still awesome, sticking around. It's beautifully colored, so I'm impressed with that. I like the aroma. It's a little bit dominated by the ginger, so it's kind of one note. The only other thing I get in there a little bit is a little bit of spicy character, and in the aroma and the flavor, I finally figured out that that's probably a little bit attributed to the ginger, but I think some of that spicy character is coming from the dry hops. I went and actually read about what select hops are supposed to smell like, taste like, and I think some of that spiciness is actually coming from the hops. And I think it's really well executed. It's not my favorite beer in the world. I like the ginger. It's not one that I'm going to drink a lot of because it is predominantly ginger. But I'm impressed by the thought process and the ingenuity that went into this. The combination of the ginger and then the spicy nature of those hops, I think is really cool, works really well together. So it's a great beer. Again, not my favorite, not one that I would probably do a whole batch of, but I'm impressed for sure. The only other thing I got is, if I'm being really picky, there's a tiny bit of minerality in the nose at the very end, but it was minor. Really well done. I can't really say a whole lot more. Really well done. I'd be proud of this beer if it were mine. It's really nice. Cheers to the brewer. Good luck in the competition. It's a beauty for sure. It's probably one of the prettier ones I've had so far. So well done. Cheers again to 27D-45V-66S with the Ginger Kolsch. Cheers, good luck in the competition.